In order to have proper study of Jawaharlal Nehru's social thought, we shall have to um, look look at influences. We have been seen that Gandhi and his father Motilal Nehru influenced him as many ways. Gandhiji thinking had lasting influence on him, but Karl Marx also influenced him. The revolution had created new hopes for the downtrodden people of the world. Jawaharlal Nehru, because of his stay in Europe as well, had seen that Europe was very much influenced by history of Karl Marx's thoughts. According to him, economic interpretation of history by Karl Marx was a very vital contribution to development of society. Jawaharlal Nehru was against the capitalistic order and wanted to establish socialistic order in the country through, though influenced by Marxism and believer in socialism. So Jawaharlal Nehru was not prepared to put up with the authoritarian system of government and dictatorship, even if it was to be of a proletariat and particular political party. His socialism was based on democracy. One of his biographers has said that he was opposed to the contradiction that was present in Marxism and socialism. He wanted to establish socialism through the democratic means. In fact, he was primarily a Democrat. He wanted socialism to be established through it. Contribution of Dr. Lohia presented a new interpretation of history. According to him, there are three directions of the progress of man and civilization. Firstly, there is a time when some civilization is developed, therefore there is a fall. Secondly, when a society is in the process of development, there is visible looseness between internal and social relations. In such a society, one class makes progress as compared to other class, but when there is fall in society, the internal relations of the same are tightened to each other. The idea of progress is replaced by the idea of justice. Contribution to social thought. Dr. Amar Lohia. Contribution to social thought cannot be properly assessed unless we have a look at the influence of Mahatma Gandhi over him. He was very much influenced by Gandhian values. His concept of socialism was also colored by Gandhian thoughts. He was not prepared to give up morality and adopt questionable governance, even if that was going to bring about the inquiet near. Dr. Bhagwan Das was an advocate of Varna Vyavastha. According to him, caste should not be determined on the basis of birth but on the basis of functions and the role an individual has to play in the society. He, like Gandhiji, believed in ashram vyavastha, not in its degenerated form but in its original and healthy form. According to Gandhiji, he was the greatest satyagrahi who kept himself away from the attractions of the world in all respects. But one of the greatest educationists and believed in higher ideals of religion, Vedic religion. Dr. Bhagwan Das, when elected chairman of the Banaras Municipal Board, tried his level best to bring out the sanitation of the Banaras town. He believed in morality in public life and personal behavior. That is why he did not agree to the conditions of the landlord to condone the outstanding house tax and water tax in order to get his house for the hostel of Kasi Vidyapit. He, however, agreed to enhance the money for the payment of house tax and water tax. This showed his conscience towards his obligations. As chairman of Banaras Municipal Board, he could have easily done that, but he did not agree to that because his concept about morality and social behavior was different from that of others. Social philosophy of politics. Dr. Bhagwan's social philosophy and politics cannot be separated. They are a part of one another. In fact, he was a philosopher administrator who wanted to run administration according to his philosophical addition, he knew that philosophy was his the best method of finding the truth. For him, philosophy was not only an intellectual exercise or mental gymnastic. For him, it was a method for solving the problems of life. His philosophy was influenced by the ideas of money. According to Manu, he provided the best possible social philosophy for the problems of life. He agreed with the change in philosophy according to changed circumstances, but that his view cannot can be applied to the society even in the present setup. He wanted to run social structure and organization according to views of Manu. He had himself prepared to plan for the running the society according to his social thought for social philosophy. Gopal Krishna Gokhale, the spirit of liberalism implies a freedom from race and creed prejudices and steady devotion to all the seeks to justice between man and man, giving to the rulers the loyalty that due to law to they are bound to administer, securing at the same time to rule the equality which is their right under the law. Moderations imposes the condition of never only aspiring after the possible, after true remote ideals. Then striving is to take the next step to another of mutual growth by the doing the work that less nearer to our ends in a spirit of compromise and fairness. After all, political activities are chiefly do not for the particular results achieved, but for the process of political education, which is secured exercising exciting interest in public matters and promoting self-respect and self-reliance of citizenship. No doubt to so process, but all growth of new habits must be slow to be real. Gandhiji, to me, God is his truth and law. Law is ethics and morality. God is fearless. God is source of light and life. Yet he is above all and beyond all see all these things. God is conscious. He is even the atheism and atheist. My political religion is made of such which binds me all over the world. Moral values, Gandhiji. There is no such thing as the principles of economics of Gandhiji. For Gandhiji, economics is a part of way of life. Only two life principles govern all Gandhiji economics, political and other consideration, namely truth and non-violence. If a scheme of things leads to violence and necessities and truth, then we may regard that as non-Gandhian. Gandhiji principles of simplicity, non-violence as applied to economic life seems to be indispensable to the labor and modern mercurial wood of day which, intoxicated by its own genius, is heading towards the paths of destruction and ruin. Sociology is the science which attempts to interpretative understanding of social action in order thereby to strive at a causal explanation of its course and results. In every kind of action, even of overaction, is social in sense of present discussions. Overt action is non-social if it is oriented solely to the behavior of the inanimate object. And every type of contact of human beings has a social character. This is rather confined to the cases where the actor's behavior is meaningfully oriented to that of others. Interpretative sociology considers the individual and his action as a basic unit as it is atom. Ideal types of hypothetical concrete individuals, personalities, social situations, change, revolution, institutions, causes and so are constructed out of their relevant components by researcher for the purpose of instituting precise comparisons. Max Weber's theory of social action. Action is social insofar as by virtue of the subjective meaning attached to it by an action individual or individuals, it takes into account our behavior or other is thereby oriented to its course. Max Weber's social understanding. Social understanding thus involves a scientific analysis of human behavior and their intentions. The construction of purely rational course of action served the sociologist as a ideal type, which was the merit of clear understanding, ability, and lack ambiguity. Ethics, the spirit of capitalism, Max Weber's. There is something in Protestantism that helped to create the system of economic norms we know as a capitalism, and that it was the Protestant Reformation that gave a direct impetus to the development of capitalistic economy. What Weber calls the spirit of capitalism is a set of attitudes towards the acquisition of money and activities involved in it. It is the course and